God. The first episode of the Alexander's Approach podcast. My wife and I, we are excited.
We are very excited. I'm very excited. Thank you all for tuning in to the Alexander's Approach first episode of our podcast.
Cheers to that.
That sounds so crazy.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Clink, clink.
For sure.
But yes, thank you all for tuning in.
It's a big deal.
For us, it's a big deal.
It's been a long time coming.
Yes, like we've been talking about this since 2020 during COVID.
Yeah.
So we wanted to start the podcast. We came up with the idea. And it's so crazy that it's 2023 and it took us this long to actually like just go ahead and do it. So we finally did it and we're super happy that you all are here and tuning in.
Yeah.
And we just want to welcome you to the first episode.
Welcome. Glad y'all here. Y'all could have been anyone in the world.
But you and me. My favorite. I love that quote.
Yeah, so since our first episode, we gotta do some intros, right? This ain't gonna happen in other episodes, but right now, it's our first one. We gotta do some intros.
Yes.
And so, wife, you wanna start?
Yes, so my name is Don Tevia, but I go by Don.
I call her Tevia though.
Yes, but everybody else call me Don. But yeah, so my background, I am a communication major from SIU, so I got my bachelor's and my master's from SIUC, Carbondale. Shout out to the Salukis,
Oh yeah.
Been in business for a lot of years now, so fresh out of college. Went straight into business. I am an entrepreneur as well, so I have a 9-to-5. But then I also have an interior decorating business called Don's Decor. So I've been doing that since 2020. That sounds so crazy. Started a long time ago, like just doing things around my house. I started to get so many compliments that eventually I decided, let me take a leap of faith. It took a long time to take that leap, but and started Don's Decor, and it's 3 years later now. So yeah, so I'm in. It feels great because like it took a long time for me to start Don's Decor because I was really scared. But we'll talk about that. But so interior decorator. We are landlords as well. We are doing a lot of things. We are parents. We have 2 beautiful daughters, my boo-boos, Berkeley and Bella Rose. So, man, here we go.
You got a lot going on.
Really? Stop.
That resume kind of impressive.
Stop it.
All right, so I'm Charles Alexander. My background is actually a little similar, right? Also SIU, grad for undergrad and graduate school communication. I went to like the education part of communication, so I've been a communication professor for over like 12 years. From there, I got into my entrepreneurial segment of life, I say. I'm a co-founder of the Black Bread Company. Also, even before that, founder of a nonprofit called Speak Hope.
Speak only positive energy, right?
Bruh.
Oh no, hold only positive energy.
You had one job, bro. You had one job. That's a blooper. We're gonna keep going though.
Listen, wait. I'm gonna let you finish. But listen, when you started Speak Hope, what was that in 2000 and?
That was 2011. 2011.
Listen, Charles has been passionate about just entrepreneurship and all of that for so long. I remember you had us in, was that Woodline Inglewood? When you first started Speak Hope.
That's still Woodline. It's Woodline.
But it's like
O-Block. It's O-Block.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Had us knocking on doors, like inviting people to like the charity event that he was doing, which is great.
Hope in the Hood, that's what it was called.
Hope in the Hood. But when I tell you, we knocking on the randomest, they coming to the door like, who is it? What you want? You need to get away from this door. And it's like, we're having this event. You should come. It's at the church. But
talking to guys in the corner,
Listen, it was great though. It was great.
Yeah,
like Charles has been super passionate about philanthropy and all that. So salute to you for that. But you had us in some crazy situations. But
I mean, you gotta go to the people though.
It worked for the kids though.
You gotta go to the people.
A lot of the kids would come to the events and get like school supplies and things like that. So that's super dope. But
so
I just had to put that in there. I just had a memory though.
So we got a lot of stuff going on together. And can I quickly just talk about similarities real fast though?
Okay.
That's that cool. So like,
Exactly.
it's crazy because I was at SIU before TV.
Yeah, you much older than me.
I'm much older. A few years.
Okay.
I was rocking cradle a little bit. I saw potential early on. I had to scoop her up. We'll talk about that later, right? So look, And so like, but it's crazy because I was communication major. She was communication major. I pledged. I'm an alpha. She pledged. She's an AKA. Wait,
First of all, all this is these are co-ed.
I'm not done. You know, I had my apartment for a few years in grad school. Woo, voila! She went to grad school communication, same thing. And she started staying in the same apartment after I left. Wow.
Wait, first of
all these coincidences.
First of all, no. Okay, that's all the
That's
coincidences.
crazy,
As far
right?
as comm major, I wanted
Wait. So is this safe to say that like I'm kind of like a role model to you? Like a mentor?
First of all, let's be very clear. Like the comm major, that's a coincidence. Pledging, my plan in life was to pledge.
Who pledged first?
I mean,
Keep going though.
You like 5 years older than me. What
I'm
you
not.
expect?
People, I am not 5 years.
And as far as the apartment,
3
yes,
years older.
I literally moved into the exact same apartment he lived in when he moved out. But that's only because the rent was $500, and it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and for $500. Like, and if that's I know that's carpet.
Hey, y'all, I just named 3 things that I did before she did. She did the same thing. But
First of all,
that's open to interpretation.
are you gonna pass up a $500 apartment for 2-bed, 2-bath?
You know,
And it was like a upstairs, downstairs.
it's open to interpretation. That's the great thing about the podcast. Y'all can get y'all opinion. What y'all think? I don't know. But, okay.
Right? Are you gonna pass up a $500 apartment or no?
Okay, speaking of SIU, y'all, speaking of college, we was talking about this a few weeks ago, and we definitely got to bring it to people. So,
Oh yeah.
if you can, not if you do things all over again, but knowing what you know now, would you want our kids to go to college? Like, will we force them to go to college? I guess that's a better way to put it.
I just feel like my opinion is when I went to college, what was that, in 2007, right? There was nothing else. Like, it wasn't
it wasn't
an option.
Yeah.
It was like, either you go to college or you're not gonna do anything else. Like, you're not gonna have another plan. You're not gonna be successful if you don't go to college.
Correct. Yeah.
And I feel like that's what was that was the theme. Like, that's all we knew, because our parents, most of us or most of our friends and peers, we're first generation college students. So it's like our parents didn't go to college. Their parents definitely didn't go to college. So it was nothing more that was known. So there was nothing about entrepreneurship. There was nothing about, just even doing trades. Like, I wasn't big on that. Like, I knew about trades, but it was more so of college is like, that's the holy grail. Like, if you go to college, you're going to be successful, which is not true. But, that's a whole nother story. But I think me personally, like, I know me and Charles have had this conversation, and when it's time for our daughters to go to college, we are not going to force them to go to college. They need to have a plan.
Oh yeah, they got a plan.
They need to have a plan, but it's never gonna be, oh, you need to go to college. That's all you can do, like you see in the movies and all that. That's not true. Like, for us, we are going to push whatever their passion is. So if they want to be entrepreneurs, we're gonna pour into their entrepreneurship. If they want to go to college, we're gonna pour into that. But it's never gonna be like us pushing them to go to college, because from my experience, you can be very successful outside of college, and I don't think that's something that's talked about enough. Or it wasn't even a thing I know when we went to college. To me,
I think we really break it down was based off like economic status. Like, growing up in poverty, right? All you knew was like, if I go to college, I can get a better life, right? But if you grew up affluent, right, middle class, or even wealthy, it was like you was already good.
Family business,
right? So it's like, if it didn't matter if you can go for just for the degree and have a good time, but it was like it wasn't like, if I don't go, I'm not going to make it in life. So I think it also comes down to that, like, like where you are, how you grew up, and that was the only option. Yeah,
I think it's so crazy, because now, like, we have a lot of nieces and nephews. We talk to them a lot about like their life goals and what their plans are, and it's like
they be getting all the acceptances too.
I feel like now, I don't know what it is now.
No.
Like,
they be getting like 30 acceptances.
They get accepted
everywhere.
Like, I feel like back then we weren't even applying in that many schools.
No.
I know me. I think I applied to maybe like 4 or 5 schools, and I think I got into 4 schools. And one wanted me to do a summer program, and I was like, I'm not going to school for the summer. But it's so crazy.
But they also get like different programs and like websites where like you can apply all these schools in one. So it's much different.
But I also think like now with social media, like, it's not even, I'm not going to say it's not cool to go to college, but like a lot of people want to be like Instagram people. They want to be influencers. They
Yeah.
want to be TikTokers.
They
And
make money off that.
and they make a lot of money off of
yeah.
it. So it's not even a thing, you know, that you have to go to college. Like they have an entrepreneur mindset already. I think because of social media, which is a great addition to like the younger what is it, Gen Z? No, it's not even Gen Z. Who's under Gen Z? Like who's going to college
Not
now?
the millennials. I can't.
That's what I'm like, I don't even know. Gen X, I don't even know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like, you know, it's cool now like to think about like entrepreneurship and want to be like Instagrammers and all that and make money off of it because that could be a lucrative business. But, you know, I just be having my own personal opinions like I be feeling like it's not even cool to go to college no more.
I know,
Like,
but it's one part I think is really important, like vital in terms of like going to college is like the network you get with going to college. If I think of friends or people I know that didn't go to college, for example, like a baby shower, like a wedding, right? Like any big event,
bridal shower, birthdays.
Like I could look at like people I know that went to college and they got all this support from their college friends, and then those that didn't go, it's like they might just have family there and like a few other friends, right? So I think like that lifelong network and connections of those you get in college, that's real, and I think that's a big part. Like, yeah, you can be successful if you didn't go to college, but like having that huge network, it's almost like a I would say like a trampoline, right, to your network. Like you go to college, like, it's just you know, it's got
people always say like your college friends are your lifelong friends. I really do believe that.
Oh, for us, for sure.
Absolutely. And I think like if I had the chance, and I know it's like student loans, it's like it's BS, it's crazy. A lot of people got student loans. If I can go back and do it again, I would absolutely do it again because I feel like the experiences, even today, like the friendships and just the partnerships and things that like I've built through college and through SIU, like it's can't
priceless.
Get that. It's priceless, right? Like so it's crazy, but I would definitely do it all again with everything that came with it. But as far as our children, like we're not gonna push them to go to college.
Well,
we're gonna be open to what their goals are.
Wait. I gotta add this. So it's not that I'm not gonna push them, but
you're gonna encourage them.
I'm gonna encourage you because I think college is a really great experience.
I agree.
Like I agree. Now if they come and say, you know, Mom, Dad, like I don't know if I want to go, and they come with a plan, I'm still be like, are you sure? Like you know, it could be a real good time, you know.
I agree.
So
I want them to get that experience. I do.
Yeah, right.
But if they don't want it, I'm not gonna push it.
Right. Gotta have a plan though. Gotta have a plan.
Yeah.
So another thing that came up just in conversation, you were talking about how, you know, a lot of people are afraid to start businesses or afraid to take that leap, right? And where that fear comes from. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I know that conversation started because of Don's Decor, and
yeah,
I had the idea for Don's Decor in a long time ago, like probably like in 2018 or so. But I was very nervous about starting it, and then in 2020, I remember we had dinner. Well, we had a New Year's Eve party, and at a table.
2019, right?
2019 going into 2020.
Right before the pandemic.
Right before. That's so funny. But 2019, we had a dinner for New Year's Eve, and it's like 20-something people at our house. We all at the dinner table. And I'm like, you know, if I put this in the atmosphere, all these 20 people going to hold me accountable, and they're going to be like, well, Don, what's going on with your plan? You said you were starting your interior decorating business. And going into 2020, I started Don's Decor because I told that whole table full of people. And it's so crazy because we were like, oh, everybody was like, 2020 is about to be our year. We're about to take over. We were so
everybody was standing up, giving all these great
so
goals.
2020. We about to be outside. Life is going to be great. And then COVID happened and,
it's a wrap.
It was a wrap.
We all in the crib posting.
Exactly. So like, and I still started it in 2020, even during COVID, which was crazy because I would have to stand in lines for clients to get merchandise and things like that. But I'm like, I already said I was going to do it, so I have to do it. But I feel like entrepreneurship, for me personally, like it's a scary thing because like, especially because I have a 9-to-5. So that's great because I have something to fall back on. But the goal, you know, is always to have like something on the side, to have a passion on the side. And I know it's a lot of entrepreneurs who don't have a 9-to-5, who have to, you know, put their all into their business and literally blood, sweat, and tears because this is their only income. And it's like people like that, I really feel for them because that's a real leap. Like I always talk about taking leaps, but that's a different level of leap to like quit your 9-to-5 and to put all of your passion into your, into,
I know about
right?
that.
I
know
know
about that.
into your business, right?
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like, I commend you all, but that's something that scares me because I want to like be able to put my all into like entrepreneurship, but I also like the safety of having a 9 to 5.
So to that point, that's the scariest part to me is like, well, for me, is going from a 9 to 5, knowing like this is what you do and having your whole trajectory of what you want to do in life and like career, and then that stops and you like, I'm doing this, right? And this is what I'm focused on, right? And like I think the biggest thing about entrepreneurship is like if the product doesn't sell or if you're not successful, you don't eat, right? And so that's why I always talk about it's important to have a really, really dope spouse. Shout out to wifey, right? Because at the end of the day, like if the money ain't coming in like you accustomed to it coming in, like how y'all, I mean, and also you accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and bills got to get paid. You got kids, you got child care, like all these things are going on, and it has to continue. Child care, right? Super expensive. Y'all know they pay for daycare, especially more than one kid. Hey,
listen,
taxation.
Yes.
So like having a spouse that's like that believes in you, believes in your dream is really important because being an entrepreneur on your own, I know it's difficult. So I commend y'all that's doing it like just dolo.
Shout out to the spouses because listen, I know as spouses sometimes you have to deal with certain things.
Yeah. You
have to be like that cheerleader all the time. So it's like thanks for giving the spouses a shout out. I think sometimes people forget about the spouses.
I don't forget about you.
Okay, I hear you.
But yeah, so I thought it was interesting, but because then you talk a little bit about like success too, like it went from like people are scared to be entrepreneurs for this reason, but then it's like also part like they're also scared of success. So it's like
I agree. So I will say though, like I feel like even like since COVID, like I've seen a surge, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen a surge in people that's like going towards their goals and their passions of entrepreneurship. And I think that's super dope because like years ago, like I wasn't seeing a lot of like our generation just be entrepreneurs. Nah. It was more so like it's a 9 to 5.
It just became a buzzword for the last 5 years.
Yes,
right?
and I feel like our generation, like we're not big on, I'm gonna go to this job, get a great job, and retire in 30 years. Like I think our generation's like,
what?
30 years?
And you know what's crazy? The word retirement sounds daunting to me. It's like,
I know, you always
like what?
Yes.
Retire at this place for 30? You gonna stay in this cubicle? Like
we think like that. Like our parents, like
And I get it why they thought like that.
They've been at their job for 25, 30 years.
Right. And they thought about the importance of like providing and like stability. And I think those things are still important. However, we think more about like options. It's like, we could do that, but I could do something else too. And not saying our parents and grandma didn't know they worked, but we this is what I'm worth.
First generation college students.
Yeah,
we have experience now. We have degrees. We have the drive. We have passion. So it's like, oh, you want me to do what? You gonna pay me how much? Like, no, I'm good. And it's like people will legit say no to decent paying jobs because it's like that work-life balance. I think right now for our generation, that's more important than
mental health. Is
mental health is really big. So that's more important than just being like, oh, I have a job, I get a check. Like, no, we need more. Like we want more, and I think like we are more driven to like get more out of life than working at a job for 30 years and retiring in 30 years with a cake and a gift basket from a job. Like I never believed in that.
I remember like about when we first got married, 2016, 2017, around that time, we met our financial advisor. And he started talking about retirement, right? And it was like, your 401k, he's like, like 25 years. And I was like, hey.
If you do this is what you can do. Charles was like,
hold on.
That's never been Charles' like MO. Like he never was passionate about retirement at all.
No, like I'm like, you told retirement at 65? I got maybe 10 more years to live. What am I gonna do? Like what?
Yeah.
How much can I really enjoy life at 65? Like let's talk more about 40, 45 retirement.
And especially as a black man, like their life expectancy is lower.
It's lower. Yeah. So like, we just try to be creative and figure out ways like try things now, take risks. Some you win some, lose some. Yeah. Save money, travel, live. Enjoy.
And as scared as I am of entrepreneurship and starting things and them failing or being successful, I'm just more scared of just years later thinking like, darn, I should have
tried
tried this. Or maybe I should have started this business. Or I've
Right.
always been good at
No
this.
regrets.
I never even like,
No
you know,
regrets.
I don't want to have any regrets. And I think
Yeah.
like that's really big right now for us. So
Yeah. So we got a segment, right?
A segment, yes.
This I guess is our first real segment.
This is the first real one.
For the show. I assume with time we'll have more creative segments. But before we get to the segment, like we're gonna have a lot of really dope topics, y'all.
Yes.
Like, and we're gonna have a lot of guests that's gonna come on from different careers.
It's not gonna be just relationships at all.
Right. Oh yeah, that too. I feel like a lot of people
Yes.
thought probably this is gonna be our relationships. Nah. We're
No.
not just doing that. We're talking about everything. Right? Was it pop culture, religion, family, all various types of relationships, everything, right?
Yes.
So even with that said, like let us know in the comment section, or send some DMs, like different topics that y'all think would be really dope for the show. And like
because we're gonna talk
take it
about
from
all
there.
of Child, listen, in our house, like we've always been big on debates. Like that's been something that has from the beginning.
It has.
That has been big, and like
Yeah.
ever since Charles came around, ever since I brought him into my family, like since I brought you
brought me
into
into
yes.
How does that sound?
It sounds like it sounds. Like ever since I brought him
That's
into my
kinda
family,
weird.
when he
Alright.
gets with my side, we're not allowed to debate anymore at family functions. And it's because of Charles. Like let's be very clear. Like
First of all,
no.
If I want to have
No.
an enlightening conversation,
Yeah, enlightening. Okay.
hey, what's
Before
wrong with
Charles
that?
came around, we never had like heated debates. Like when he started coming around,
Stop
we started
it.
getting.
Stop it. I'm
When I
gonna
tell
blame
you
you.
heated
That's
debates,
crazy.
people would leave mad. People would be arguing. The two things you never talk about is religion and politics. Charles
We
came
always
around
on both of those.
and started
We
talking
on
about
both of
those
those.
and changed everything.
No, but not just that. We talk. We
No,
talk
but
about
those were some of the two main things. The controversial topics.
politics was a lot.
Politics was a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ever since then, like we started getting into heated debates, people would be upset. We would get
So
family
look,
texts.
hey.
So now we're not. When we get in family
when we
functions,
be driving to her side of the family, right? Our family, her side of the family, and like any type of holiday gathering, she'd be like, "Well, make sure you don't get no debates. Like, don't bring in no topics." I'm like it's like a legit prep talk before we walk in.
Because you be stirring the pot.
But
know
guess
people.
what? Hey, we still do them on the low. We be like a few of them. We be on the side, still have our little debates. We gotta get it in.
On the side, when
We gotta get
at the parties,
yeah,
where
in
when?
the corner. We all
Wait, what? What?
You know, when everybody eating and drinking, me, we gotta get it out.
First of all, I told you no debates. You should not be debating with anyone. Like, you wild for that. You very wild.
Okay, so to our segment.
On to the segment.
You want to talk to somebody?
Yeah, so our segment for the show is called Talk Your Ish, right? So we just gonna basically sound off on like different topics and just kind of like not debate, but just give our views on specific topics. So the topic that we're gonna talk about today is Charles brought this up.
Yeah.
Actually, someone on social media, he saw that they were spending $250,000 on a wedding, right? So when he brought that to me, he's like, somebody's spending $250K, and the first thing I'm thinking is like, what's their tax bracket? Because my tax bracket is like $250K. Oh my God! But like Beyonce's tax bracket is like
that's nothing.
Like what?
Yeah.
That's chump change. So it's like, what's their tax bracket? Which he didn't know, but we started to talk about that and like talk about like as far as weddings and like our weddings and things like that. So like when we got married in 2016, we got engaged in October. We were married in August.
Yeah.
So we were only engaged for 10 months, and I don't know why we got married so quick, but we were like, why we waiting?
You wanted to go kind of fast. I think that was your call.
What?
I think that was your call.
So you saying I trapped you?
I ain't said that.
That's what you trying to say.
I ain't say she trapped.
Basically
Did
trying to say.
I say that, y'all?
You
Like I just
basically
said.
tried to
I'm just saying you didn't want a long engagement. That was your call.
But we
I
had
mean,
been
if it was up to
together
me,
for the longest.
we'd have stayed a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying?
Like 3 years, 4 years.
I didn't say that.
Okay, I hear you.
Maybe a little longer.
But
than a year.
anyways, we got married in 10 months. I hear you. We got married in 10 months, and it was kind of crazy, but I feel like it was just so much, so fast.
Yeah.
And by the time it got close to the wedding, like 4 months, 5 months out, every single dollar, when I tell you,
You get your check from work, I went straight to the wedding.
everything went to the wedding. It's crazy because like we didn't have help.
Direct deposits.
We had to like do so much stuff on our own, like as far as like the finances go. So it's like we were very big on like I'm big on budgets and things like that. So it's like every single dollar went to the wedding, and just thinking about 250K, like.
And it makes me think of like when everybody was talking on social media, or just in general, like are you getting married for the wedding, or you getting married for like the actual marriage? And that made me think like what is the reason why? Again, I don't know that couple and their background, but it's like I could think of a lot of different things you could spend that money on.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Like think of like our wedding and things like that. We got married in 2016. We had a real wedding. Not a real wedding, but it was here. We didn't do a destination or anything like that. I know a lot of people say you save money with destinations. Like thinking back, like would you do the same thing? Like would you want to do a wedding here in Chicago, or would you want to do a destination wedding, or would you say, oh, I'm gonna save that money and go to the courthouse?
You know, our wedding was a great time. We kicked it super hard, for real. But I think I would probably do a destination wedding. I think I'll do a destination wedding and then have something in Chicago, like for those that couldn't make it, or just like a small reception. Because like going destination weddings and seeing like, you know, just how festive it is and like the great weather and just like everybody looking good. I don't know. I think I would do like a destination wedding. Yeah, I would do both somehow, some way.
That's more money though. You at 250K already.
Stop it.
I'm just saying, you're trying to travel and you're trying to.
I said small reception.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think me personally, if I could go back, I probably would do a destination. Yes, at first I know my original thing was like, you know, I think I could do like, I would do a wedding here. I don't think I would change anything for real though. I think I would do a destination, but I also think like with a destination, you still got to get a DJ to come there.
Yeah.
You still have to pay for somebody to do your hair and makeup as a female. You still have to pay for, you know, just certain things that you wouldn't have to pay for in the States. So I do think I would do a destination. I just feel like I want to make sure that it's everything that I want. And a destination, I love how you can have a full vibe weekend with all of these events.
Then your honeymoon, keep going there, everybody goes to the
And I know people say you save money, but honestly, I feel like with our wedding, it didn't change anything. Right after we got married, we purchased a building. Then after that, we purchased another property. And then after that, we continued to do whatever we wanted. I just think whatever you decide, you're going to work around that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you spend a lot of money on a wedding, you're going to figure life out. If you go to the courthouse, maybe you're going to spend that money on a house or another investment. So, but it's just very interesting, like, to spend a lot of money like that on a wedding.
That's wild. It's not interesting. It's wild. That's wild.
And honestly,
250K is wild. But look, what?
I just feel like if you're spending that much, like if I'm going to a wedding, right? I don't even know what a wedding like that probably looks like. But I just know, like, you know, nice weddings like that, they may not even be the best time. Like, I feel like, you know, I just want to go and have a great time with the couple, with your friends and family, and just enjoy the vibe. So it's like, I want to make sure it's worth $250K.
Right, but to be fair, those people wondering, like, or say, are you getting married for the wedding or are you getting married for the marriage? Most people will say for the marriage, right? But truthfully, you really don't, like, you don't know what is in store for the marriage, right? You saying that, of course, but like on the flip side, it's like, what is really about to happen with this marriage? Because things are different. There's different consequences, right? Everything happens together as a unit, as a collective, not just like you saying it, but like with the court law. It's so. You don't know what you don't know.
You definitely don't, but you know. I think I would definitely do a destination, but basically I would still do a wedding. Absolutely still do a wedding. But what do you all think? Like, for those who are married, would you do the same thing over again, or would you change anything up? But for those who are not married, when you plan to get married, do you think you will have a full wedding, like the dress, the large group of people, like the catering, things like that, destination, or basically here in the States, or do you plan to like have something else? Like, do you plan to?
I just thought about some other bit. I gotta say this.
Go to the courthouse and just.
I felt the way. It just took me back far away. I felt the way for those people that came, had a great time, y'all.
Oh my God, we not gonna.
I know
the
people. We have 220, 230 people at our wedding. It was a nice sized wedding, and y'all know every seat is like you gotta pay for that, right? For the dinner, right? Every plate. Right, so I had an issue with those people that came. They drank good, they ate good, they partied all night. You know, they have 3-4 hours. 3-4 hours, y'all, and didn't leave a gift. Like, didn't leave nothing. So, like, that's also a part. It's like, I don't know, destination.
Okay, so that's been a conversation with a lot of people on social media and things like that.
It
So
has.
that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, it's like, do you expect people? I do expect that though.
Okay, so my thing is you should not expect it. So like when we went into our wedding, we said if no one leaves a gift, okay, we're good. We understand what it is. But we made out I think our guests, we had some great guests who left some great gifts.
I hear you.
Left some great
I'm trying to
gifts.
see you going with this.
But I just know we've had friends and family who's had beautiful weddings, and couples have came and eat and drink and didn't leave anything.
Back to the comment section. How y'all feel about that? If y'all pay all this money, for us it was about 18 to 20,000. You pay all this money for this wedding, for all these people, and they came.
They all in the videos, sipping. They look, because we had cigars all with. They with cigars. They taking shots.
Man,
$0.
So I'm saying, I give for those people that just don't gather. I understand that, and that should be a conversation too, right? It's just some things just I don't know, just the right and wrong. This is the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta leave some. I don't care if you leave $20 in the car and say, hey,
we debated about this so many times.
I don't have it right now. But let me know what y'all think. Do you think people should give something, right, if they come? And what about the people that we paid for that didn't even show up and didn't even tell us they wasn't showing up?
Okay, that's wild too. That's the wildest too. You literally just wasted.
No, I think it's worse if you came in.
But I also think a lot of people, because I know even with us, the people that did it were certain family members who just did not know. Dang, they spend a lot of money per plate, not for the wedding, but per plate. I don't think they realized that. So them just saying oh yeah, Don Charles, we can't make it to today. The day of, we can't make it today, which is so wild.
Yeah.
I don't think they really realized that. But, things happen. We planned for that. We knew it was going to be people that didn't show up.
Yeah, what's it, 15-20% drop off. We kind of.
But also to that point though, for the guests that didn't give, we had some amazing guests who
did give.
Who gave.
Gave more. Yeah,
so it's
right.
Those
so
are the guests that made up for it. Yeah, so it made up. Yeah. But I know it is
you do
I talked to some people who gotten married and they so and so didn't give my wedding. I still side eye.
You know what's crazy? And it's those people, they got a good job, they living their life, they travel, they doing all this great stuff.
You
and I see y'all in the club, I see y'all going to town for this.
Stop. You wild. You so wild.
Steak 48, wherever y'all going.
So what y'all think?
I just said.
I know that's been a big debate previously before.
I know.
As far as when it comes to wedding guests as well. Do you think if guests can't give, should they say something? Should they be forced to give something? And also how do you even handle that? If you're the bride and groom,
I'm cool. If somebody tell me, I'm absolutely fine with it.
I'm saying if they tell you that, no, perfectly fine with that. But what if they don't say nothing? They show up, they in your videos, they kicking it, and you watch your wedding video recap damn, you had a great time. What do you do in those situations? Do you address them? Do you just say it is what it is? Because I know people that's holding grudges for people years later because they never gave, and they're actually their friends and family that's in their face every day, and they can't say anything because they don't want to be that person why you didn't give me anything for my wedding? You don't want to feel like that person. But it's also dang, why didn't you give anything? Or why didn't you contribute to, what's next for me and my family? But,
I did some a little unorthodox, but we'll say that for later on.
No, so what? But let us know what y'all think. We want to thank you all for tuning in to the Alexander's Approach first episode of our podcast.
Let's go. Episode 1.
Yes. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Charles said, we're gonna be talking about a variety of
a lot more to come, y'all. Stay tuned in.
Topics.
Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all follow the Alexander _approach. Right?
Yeah.
It's our new logo. What y'all think, y'all? That's our new logo.
Please make sure you follow it.
We here.
Any specific
Wife looking
topics?
good. I'm looking a little crazy, but yeah, that's how.
You just look like I look like.
I look like what? What you said?
Like you typically look, so that makes sense. But yeah, so let us know what topics you all want to hear. We're gonna be talking about it all. So we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, and God bless you.
Alexander's Approach. We out.